Good evening, all. Welcome to episode 13 of the Mixup Midweek podcast. And today I'm joined with three special guests. Very last minute one, actually, with Chris. Just commenting on Twitter, I said, why not? We'll just get him in with Dealer for a bit. Cause some ructions again, as he always has done with him and Dealer together.
Absolutely. And
our other special guest, of course, Flap from Green Pass Gaming. So before we start, I will just do an introduction of the standard regular weekly panel, and then we'll go to our special guests. So first of all, Shomberlon, how are you doing today, brother, and what you been up to? Got a bit of a delay.
Sean, are you there? Oh wait,
Steve had enough.
We'll move.
I cannot take it anymore.
Archimedes, we'll start with you, brother. We'll get him back in a minute.
Let's hope so.
Don't let him in again.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had a lot of time for gaming over the last few days. Still at home because of my foot. I can't work right now. I've started the remake of Kingdom of Amalur. Pretty good so far, although I have to say I don't know what they remade or remastered. Game looks like it used to look about 10 years ago, but still a pretty good game. And I started something out of my backlog. I started with Final Fantasy 15. I'm not sure if I like it so far. I'm about 4 or 5 hours into the game right now. The story is good, but some of the pacing is really weird. Let's see if I end up liking it.
You give it a chance. I know you hate the driving sections.
Yes.
But it gets better. You don't spend all of your time in cars.
That's the best one, man. What are you talking about?
You have to basically drive with the car from quest to quest, and those car drives take in real time 4 or 5 minutes, and you can't skip them. So you're just sitting there watching 4 or 5 minutes the car drive to your quest, and the quest takes about 2 minutes. Then you're done with the quest, and then you have to drive back for 4 or 5 minutes. That's really, I don't know.
It gets better. You can actually fast travel at some points.
Yeah,
it does get better.
I hope so.
Patjeuh, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
I've been doing good, man. Thank you. Like usual, I'm working, so that's the daily basis. And gaming-wise, I've been playing new Super Lucky Tale. So because Emil told it in the chat last time, especially for the achievements. So yeah, I've been focused on that lately.
Sweet. It is quite a cool little game, to be honest. Obviously, it's not hard. It's a good game, but it's nice, easy achievements, and
it's fun to play.
Yeah, quite relaxing.
Yeah, exactly. So
compared to some of the games, you're not having to concentrate uber hard like you are on PUBG.
No, yeah, exactly. But like last week, Dutch sent me this controller, the PUBG customized Elite controller. Want to say thank you again for sending me to this, and yeah, man, I've been enjoying it a lot. So thank you, man.
Do you find it much different from the standard controller?
Yeah, of course. Like first of all, the weight, because it's heavier than the normal controller, but to like have the pedals on the back, that makes gaming like a little bit easier. Like sometimes with like if you aim down sight and you need to hold your breath, it's like the left and the right, left bumper and trigger, but now you can like change it to the back. So yeah, that makes it a little bit easier.
Sweet.
Yeah, man.
Sweet.
So
happy
nice.
days, and you're welcome, brother. You're welcome. I'll be sending out some Christmas gifts to you all anyway near the time, so keep an eye out.
Seriously?
You've got 3 on order. You have 3 on order.
Yeah, okay, PS5 then. It's okay.
Next of all, Erwin, how you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Last week I was feeling quite ill. I did a test for corona. I was negative, so that's positive, of course. I'm feeling a lot better, doing well. Yesterday we got the sad news that we are going into a moderate lockdown again. So restaurants and bars are closed. You cannot buy alcohol after 8 o'clock, and some extra things. So the situation is a little bit worse now in the Netherlands. Work-wise, everything is going well. I had quite some good sales success this week and the week before. So really happy about that. I played some Gran Turismo Sport on the weekend. I was streaming it on YouTube, got a copyright claim, which was very nice. And I played some PUBG also with Steve and with Emil. It was with who was it again? With you, Drew? Yeah, right. Yeah. And we didn't get any chicken dinners this weekend. So besides that, everything is going well, mate. Thank you. And I want to say big thanks to the chat. I see there are 45 people in the chat already.
53.
So big numbers.
Big numbers again.
And great to have Pilo on the show.
I wonder why that is.
Cool.
Last but not least, of our regular panel, we do have, like I say, we do have Broya jumping in at some point, I think, somewhere down the line. But Shomberlon, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
Yeah, not bad. Just like everybody else, working. But luckily, I work from home, so it's not a big deal. Gaming-wise, Apex, as always. I've gone in the opposite direction to Patjeuh with a nice and relaxing. I've gone for Doom Eternal. So... I forgot now.
I was playing that last night as well, to be honest. It was I was having quite a bit of fun on it. I streamed it last night after a bit of Forza and a bit of what else? FIFA 21. But yeah, jumped on a Doom Eternal, played another level through, just had some fun. Really good. But how are you finding it?
I'd forgotten all what I was doing, and I'd forgotten all the when you just can't remember what each button does. So it took me.
You're getting old, Steve.
Took me about half an hour to figure everything back out again, like the double jump and the double jump, doing a jump, then dashing, then jumping again, and just stuff like that to get over things. And then I tried, on the word of King when he was on with us, Neon Abyss.
Yes.
That's really addictive. That's ridiculously addictive.
Yes.
So I've been playing a bit of that. I gave Brutal Legends a try, it's okay. I'll probably go back to it. And then earlier today, I got a couple of wins on Rogue Company.
Yes, you did. Just before we started this stream, actually, with a couple of wins, which is always good. Pat would have joined us, but his internet decided to pack in.
Drop some
Too bad, man.
Never mind. Yeah, he dropped his luggage.
Yeah, okay. Also.
First of all, guests for this week, introducing Flap from Green Pass Gaming, one of the up-and-coming Xbox gaming podcasts on YouTube. How are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
Yeah, very good, thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks for having me on as well. It's great to be here, and a great panel and great chat. It's all good to see. I really enjoyed doing these. But I've been playing quite a few games as well, to be honest. Got to admit, embarrassingly so, I'm fairly new to Titanfall 2, which is ridiculous, really, because I'm really enjoying that game. Just completing the single player bit. So I want to dive head first into the multiplayer side of things. And I've been crashing planes in Flight Sim.
Yep.
And crashing cars in Forza 7. So, and I've also been achievement whoring as well, I'm afraid, in new Super Lucky Tales as well. But,
nice.
Quite enjoy that game. You haven't really got to think about it, you just sort of pick it up and play it. So, bit of an hors d'oeuvre kind of game, that one. So now I've been getting the old gamer score up. I think I'm about 1800 on gamer score at the moment. But having a great time, really. So you know what? When I started doing my own channel, the one thing that kind of fell out of my life was playing games. I know that sounds strange. Yeah, because you've got to balance work and getting the channel up and all of that sort of stuff. But no, I'm really enjoying getting back into it. So it's great to be here, mate.
Brilliant. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome, and nice to have you here. First of all, our guests, second group of guests who joined us last minute was Chris Grinnell, second time appearance. How are you doing today, brother? You've been having some fun on Twitter again as usual, haven't you?
Twitter warrior.
Cause of the stir on Twitter. No, I'm good. Just like a lot of others, working. working from home. Obviously trying to navigate this pandemic and stuff. A bit like when we've got into Liverpool, where I am, has gone into like a very high level. So it's like pubs are closed and stuff like that, but restaurants are still open and things like that. So you just kind of look after yourself. And gaming wise, I've picked Destiny 2 back up, but a bit like Shomberlon, I just completely forgot how to play the game, how to launch quests. The menus are just ridiculous. So obviously looking forward to the new update coming out, because they're supposed to really kind of simplify the game. And
say I jumped on Destiny 2 the other day, and it put us onto some end game content, and I've played for so long, and as soon as I went down this one path, I just got murdered like repeatedly.
Yeah. It's insane trying to navigate like quests and stuff that you're on, but obviously once you get past that, kind of reassessing your brain with the game and stuff like that, it's just an unbelievable game. I think the gunplay is great in it, and I don't think any game out there has quite achieved the sense of scale that Destiny does when you walk into kind of an area and stuff like that. It is awesome fun. So
Bungie are masters of gunplay, though.
What was that? Sorry,
I said Bungie are masters of gunplay. They're really good.
Yeah, the weapons just feel kind of heavy, powerful. You've got different types of weapons feel properly different. Not just kind of that's a skin. It's the same. So it's just really good to get back into. And obviously, nice of Xbox and stuff to give us the add-ons,
all of it for
various
free.
things before they buy Bungie again. No.
To finish off Halo Infinite.
No, thanks for having me on, though.
No, you're welcome, brother. You're welcome. And last but not least, the main guest of this evening, Dealer Gaiman, who's took time out of his extremely popular YouTube channel, now hitting 90,000 subscribers yesterday, as well as his ultimately popular Real Deal Xbox podcast. How are you doing today, brother?
It's good to be here with my twin brother, Chris Kermel. No, honestly, guys, thanks for having me on. I've been playing some 2K, Fight Night, and I want to get into the topics. This is like a 5-hour intro. Let's go. Come on, WandrinDutch.
This is what happens when you have a massive.
I know, right? It is good to meet some of you guys, and honestly, you guys, all part of the same community. So it's great to be here.
Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. It's great to have you here. Great to have you here as well. We're going to do the topic in reverse order today. Actually, we're going to concentrate first of all on the kind of, I wouldn't say the negatives, because for a lot of us we're very grounded and down to earth and understand how these things work. But showing Xbox, should we say, showing 2 third-party games first. Dealer, what's kind of your thoughts on the backlash that's come off, kind of showing Dirt 5 and the performance output for that, as well as then Yakuza, and showing that on Series S and how it performs. What do you think?
No, anyone who watched my show, you kind of know. I think it's insulting to the developers, and I think it's silly to say that every game is dictated by the developers, their resources, their talent, their scale, their employment rate, right? How many people they got, their technology, and then also in the same breath say it has anything to do with the hardware, while also not understanding that the game actually does perform quite well for being a month before launch, and it's already been improved through patches and build updates according to the developer, while also seeing the trailers and the pre-release demos and then expecting it to look like Hellblade randomly. You know what I'm saying? It's still Dirt. It looks like Dirt 5. Looks better than Dirt 4. It pretty much runs at a native 4K 60 according to Digital Foundry. To watch the video on it, and people have found negativity with it. I don't understand it. Yakuza, clearly, in my opinion, what is an engine that has never been well optimized on any platform. And I look at that, and then I look at Gears 5 at double the frame rate. At a higher resolution. There's just some things that I think developers, in large part, have done a great job on, but certain, like the Dragon engine, not exactly breaking new ground there with performance. So I think overall, it's good. But if you're looking at a certain community, it is always the case. They're looking for that toxic kind of negativity, and the rest of us will be over here in the corner trying to have fun.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. Just trying to have fun with it. Again, in my opinion, anyway. And obviously, you got the shout out from the Dirt guys for posting such a kind of a positive video about kind of the trailer that come out and what to expect from it, and kind of the best kind of information that come off the back of the kind of showcases for that game as well. So hats off to you again. Kind of getting the positive shout out from the Dirt developers as well for that one.
You know what was weird about that is I didn't even really show any gameplay or any good footage. I use IGN's footage, right? And they're like, I guess that was their way of saying like, man, we really agree with the message in this video. And they couldn't say it to themselves, but that was kind of their way of using me as their little vessel.
Yeah, and a good vessel to use. You've got a voice in the community, so why not use it? It's a different type of voice, isn't it? So, Chris, I mean, what's your thoughts on kind of what's been going on? Is it very much mirror what we've been saying, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been quite vocal about it. Really, more. I mean, I got lots of fucking people accusing me of, damage control and stuff like that. And it was more damage control. It was more kind of, I was sticking up for Cheshire Studio because obviously a lot of these toxic people who are doing anything they can to kind of knock down a certain box and stuff like that. But these guys are not remembering or not thinking that Cheshire Studio, a large percentage of those guys are the old Evo guys. So they've done Drive Club that people lauded up. They've worked on Motorstorm that people lauded up. They were a Sony first-party developer, and like Dealer was saying, these things come down to engine, technology, so on and so forth. So when Sony closed the Evo Studios, or decided to kind of disband the place, pretty much Sony would have kept all the tools, the engine, so on and so forth, because there's no reason to give that away. There's no reason to just go, someone can have that for free. And obviously on the flip side, Codemasters are very confident that their own engines, whether it's the Ego or whether the Onrush engine, I think is pretty much what the Dirt 5 is. So those engines perform exactly how Codemasters want them to do. Multi-plat, they work really well, they scale, so on and so forth. So I think we've all said, people shouldn't have been expecting a Gran Turismo, a Forza, that type of quality of finish, a Drive Club or something. But what people are not remembering or thinking about is, cross-platform game, cross-gen game, day one game, in the middle of a pandemic, and you start to break down what the game is doing. I put this in a tweet. 12 cars, AI, physics, deformation of surfaces, depends on what mode you're playing. So that
dynamic weather.
Yeah. So for people who might not know, that's the deformation of snow, of mud. Each lap is slightly different, affects the car. So there's some powerful stuff going on. Dynamic weather, day-night cycle, so on and so forth. 120, 60 frames. There's all this stuff going on, and just because it doesn't look like an end of gen game like Ghost of Tsushima or something like that, where those guys have had years to perfect the engine and the hardware and stuff like that. Those guys need a round of applause, and it's a talented bunch of people. So those getting shit just because there's a marketing deal with Xbox or whatever is just completely unfair, and that's what I've been kind of shouting about. But then obviously I've been getting slapped down that it's damage control for Xbox and stuff, and it's actually not. It's more about the developers too.
Yeah, it's not down.
I was going to say I completely agree. To be honest, I don't understand what it was getting the hate for. Of course, it's used in some fanboy fuel argument, but the game itself, to me, looked really good.
Yeah.
Like graphically, it looked fine. I mean, all the, like you say, the deformation, all of the different details that went into it. Of course, it's not like a sim racer. It's not meant to be a sim racer. It's an arcade racer. So the cars aren't going to be kind of 1-for-1 scale or anything like that. But the much improved of a previous Dirt series, which is, again, all you can hope for, is again, the iteration, the improvement. And it does look really good. It looks fun.
And it'll be a fun game. Multiplayer will be great, like some of the other Dirt games. And it's a nice game to pick up and play. The thing that was really impressing me, so I was watching Tom Warren's stream on Twitch. I don't know if any of you guys picked it up, and the load times are just phenomenal. Absolutely. We're talking kind of menu changes. Goes into the game. It was 4 or 5 seconds straight in. Finish the level. 4 or 5 seconds back out. Menu, back in the game. And that's the stuff for me, which is as it improves, is going to be revolutionary for everyone on PS5 and Xbox. Really.
Yeah, I think a lot of people check the trailers and stuff like that on their phone. Because when I was on my phone, I was first also like, hey man, this doesn't look really impressive or whatever. And then I checked the videos on my television and in 4K, also the Digital Foundry analysis. I think that hit the nail on the head, right? And then I was looking at the analysis, and it looked actually quite impressive in my opinion. The lighting, the dynamic weather, like Chris also saying, the deformation, right? And also the physics. Even if it's an arcade game, you see quite a lot of physics also going on. They have 3 modes in the game. I mean, what the hell is everybody talking about? It's ridiculous. I don't understand the backlash. And especially when you compare it to the previous Dirt series. I mean, come on, give the guy some slack. It's a loud game. And for sure, when we are all playing it on our Series X or even the PS5, it will be an impressive game to look at. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a lot of people, I think, forget is that even though we have now much more powerful systems coming with the next-gen consoles, you also need a lot more resources to make actually use of that additional power. And studios that don't have these same budgets like a Gran Turismo or Forza, they have to make compromises in the end. And I applaud them for doing a cross-gen title. Neither Forza nor Gran Turismo come out at launch as a cross-gen title, and for Codemasters doing that with their limited resources, they should get credit for that. And I think we will see a lot of games coming next gen, especially from the smaller studios that don't have that next gen look to them for the first 2 or 3 years. It's simply a budget reason.
What is exactly the next gen look? I mean, what are people now expecting anyway? I mean, what do they expect, right? Do they expect 4K 120 frames per second with ray tracing? Is that what they expect? I mean, then they have got their expectations completely off, right?
I was going to say, we need to call out IGN and Ryan McCaffrey on this, don't we? Because, you know, it might not have met his next-gen expectations, but perhaps his expectations were wrong. And to be honest, for me personally, that's kind of what set the whole ball rolling with this. And like Dealer said, you know, they uploaded a really crappy 1080p low bit stream video. And to be honest, Dealer, I'm not surprised, you know, Cheshire Studios were kind of happy because even what you uploaded made, you know, compared to IGN, made it look so much better. And I'm really pleased that Digital Foundry came wading in as well, because, you know, the footage that they uploaded looked fantastic. And okay, it's like you were saying, you know, there are engine limitations, and at the end of the day, it's a dirt game. You know, what are your expectations going to be? And I'm just really gutted with IGN and Ryan McCaffrey, if I'm honest, personally speaking, because like I say, you know, if that's going to start fueling sort of tit for tat between the consoles, then, you know, there's no good Sony fans sort of calling out Xbox Series X, because, you know, let's wait to see what it looks like on PS5 first before we make any judgments.
Yeah.
But he likes to see it from a negative standpoint, and that's always what I hate in such things. Instead of looking what the game brings us in a positive way, like 3 modes, right? Quality mode, frame rate mode, and another mode.
120 hertz mode.
Yes, 120 hertz is the first freaking game. It's the first freaking game that does 120 frames. Still looks pretty good. Where the hell are we talking about? And then uploading a video in 1080p. Come on, man.
No, let's zoom in on the guy in the background's nipple. See if it's still there on 120 frames.
maybe it's Ryan McCaffrey's nipple.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Zoom right in. That's not 4K.
Where's the nipple hairs,
Is
boy?
it ray tracing? Is it a ray trace nipple?
Yeah, where was that ambient occlusion on the nipple there?
The shading on this nipple is not accurate at 120 frames.
But that is, I mean, we joke about it, but that's kind of the level of detail some people go into. They just zoom in like 45 times just to score points.
They'll still be zooming in on them eyebrows on the crowd, like on the PS5 version. You know, it's completely platform motivated, and that's the cringiest thing about it. Is you got one side that do nothing but look for a negative because the console, I don't know, Xbox, I don't know, and on the other hand, you're gonna have people to do with PlayStation, but it's just weird because it's like they're building a big ass bear trap for themselves to walk into when the PS5 version gets released.
Exactly.
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
like always.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all pointed it out. We all said, well, listen, this is a third party. It is coming to PlayStation 5. And like it or not, the PlayStation 5 is the weaker of the hardware. So if this is the performance on Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, then...
Which is almost perfect, by the way. And like,
it's
like they didn't watch the analysis, right? And it's getting patched to be even better, right? So
they literally said it was dropping like 1 or 2 frames at most. They said it was barely noticeable on 4K quality mode. It was dropping like a frame.
Well, the people criticizing are the ones that are happy with 30 frames.
Yeah.
They're the ones kind of going, oh, well, you know, it's got ray tracing. 30 frames. I've always had 30 frames. It's fine. Oh, my God. It drops 2 frames. Next gen. It's a week.
Well, that was the thing on 120 frames mode. It was it was going down to 118. I don't know how we can live with that, guys.
And the thing is, as well, is the
too much of a drop.
It's like, you know, the millisecond timings and stuff. Like Thomas was saying on Digital Foundry, it was like, you know, it's not even kind of noticeable to the naked eye now because at 120. You know, you're doubling the frames and stuff. So
it's
if there is a little
eighth of a millisecond,
it's not even noticeable. I think the other thing as well, which is important, which obviously the IGN boys, for whatever reason, are not kind of highlighting, but I think Digital Foundry are always pretty fair, whether it's whether a PlayStation game, Xbox game, or whatnot, to highlight the fact that it's an early build. It's, you know, a month or so old. You know, they'll kind of echo what the developers have said because. You know, you will caveat that stuff. You know, when we were sending out press builds and stuff like that, they were like 3 months back because at some point you've got to take a slice of that game and then crack on with working up to release. And you don't want to be taking a slice of the game, you know, every few weeks when you purposely go out to kind of break stuff when you start to optimize and so on and so forth. So I think it's important for DF and that's what they do well, is to caveat and say, look, this is an early build. You know, we've been given access to this. Well, who's given access? So who from Sony's side are given access to stuff other than, you know, a paid for promotion in Japan or whatever at the minute, which is really quite worrisome.
Very light on the ground paid for promotion as well. The vast majority played 2 games. One was a third party timed exclusive, and the other was a demo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the other thing you mentioned, you said why have they gone with Dirt 5? It's just the first game that's in a ready enough state to be able to send to people like Digital Foundry, to be honest. And I know, you know, they've interviewed Cheshire Studios a few times, haven't they, and had a chat with the people there. It's just one of those games that's in the most advanced state that they can show off. Because this is the irony, isn't it? People were calling out, you know, well, where is the Xbox Series X footage? And as soon as it lands, you know, there's all criticisms around it. It drives me nuts.
But that's why they're asking for it to be negative. I have the feeling, right? And that's what I don't like about some communities and also some media always approach it from the negative side. And it's a shame to see, really. I don't like it. And it's a third-party title. It shouldn't be about any console, even if it's a PS5 or Xbox or whatever, even on the Switch, because I don't know if there's a Switch version coming, for fuck's sake. But I mean, it's just a fun game. It's just dirt. It doesn't look like shit. It's just dirt. And it probably will be a fun game to play. So be happy for what we get. And I think when everybody or a lot of people start complaining and be negative, I have the feeling that developers won't show any gameplay anymore prior to release, because the only thing that what they will get is backlash, and you get a negative narrative around it. So I think developers will be probably more how do you say it?
Cautious.
Cautious about it as well, right? And that's why also maybe Xbox is waiting so long now, showing their titles, because they know how shit some people can be on the internet, right?
I mean, even the thing is about even PlayStation's own titles, though, is that the PlayStation, I mean, I don't see it as much with Xbox fans, but the PlayStation fans really get on the back of their own developers as well when things don't look nice.
Spider-Man, huh?
Spider-Man was one of the key examples, some of them loved it, but then other ones really jumped down their throats for it, just for some of the aspects. And it was, of course, we noticed some little bits and poked fun at it, but that is what it is. It's not to have kind of an attack on the developers. We kind of just poked fun at things like in the ray traced elements, kind of sections of arms and hands not actually matching up to body parts that were on the window.
But we're not sending death threats, right? I mean, we're bantering a little bit.
Exactly.
But I cannot imagine that I will go to turn 10 and to give them death threats because the physics sucks on a wheel, right? So, I mean, that's not what I'm going to do. But I sometimes I'm really wondering who's on the other side of the screen, right? And that's what makes it difficult on social media. But you got, you know, in a lot of discussions online, you have that's being based on political views or whatever. You know, you never know who's typing, what his attitude is for that day. So everybody can say something, and I think we need to be careful not giving too much platform to so much negativity. And that's why I really appreciate what Dealer did with his video to approach it from a positive side, and that's how I know Dealer as well on this YouTube, and that's what I really appreciate about it. And I think more people should do it, and I think Ryan should change a little bit in that. So it's good that you give him some positive feedback, Dealer.
Thank you.
Dealer, I want to touch on one thing. Actually, it is with regards to your own channel, and again, congratulations on 90,000 subscribers, almost at that big 100,000 mark, and no doubt that will be coming within the next couple of weeks at most.
I don't know about that. Wow,
seems to be chugging along quickly now, though. I've seen Colt's comment as well, saying it was only a few years back that he was sitting there when you had 9,000 followers.
I need to spam the internet like Spam Out Thor, and then I'll get some more people joining the channel. No, I just, man, honestly, I plan on being there by the end of the year, but I think I'm going to have something on Twitter here in the next week or so that, you know, and some coverage that hopefully will, you know, make that stuff come along a little quicker. But at the end of the day, man, you know, I've been around for a while, and, you know, from back in the day, talking shit, calling people what I was getting called in the comments like an idiot, not thinking about it, to now understanding and realizing that, you know, this is just a different mentality. You know, you come along and you're thinking your mentality, and you build a community of people that it means something, man. So everyone that supports that, I appreciate that kind of stuff. And even to come on those shows like this and watching you guys doing it's awesome. So just keep at it, you know.
So I know that I will. Obviously, it's I can see just from the starting point, and obviously I can imagine you can remember that. Probably not fondly, but you can remember the starting point of building your channel from the beginning, and how difficult it is just to get the initial grip and the initial community base built up to where you are now. How did you find kind of that initial transition? Where did you find it started to really kick off for you?
I started taking it seriously in 2017 when I understood that I could. I don't know what snapped. You know, I was getting my degree, and in the background, I'm doing this little YouTube thing, and I built this channel basically on Upload Studio, right? With, you know, it was horrible, crash, everything was horrible, worst of the worst. And I was just sitting there talking. I don't even know why. I think I was going through like a really tough time, and that's kind of what I put my energy into to keep myself busy. And throughout the years, I started the podcast in 2017, and I kind of started taking it more seriously, you know, and deciding to elevate myself and do better, and you know, still call people my favorite word, fuckface. But at the end of the day, you know, just I don't know what happened. Honestly, I just kind of grew up a little bit in my own head, and then you start doing things. And making videos and deciding to put more work in. I think that was one of the number one things. And then at the end of the day, then you get a retweet from the dirt account, you know, saying, "Hey, great video, has nothing to do with anything we're saying, but we like the message, without saying it, right? So I just build a community of a very strong community of people that are amazing, and again, thankful.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like I say, it's obviously what we've noticed, especially throughout the years, though, is the quality of the videos as well that comes out, because you can see the transition on where you've learned more and how to kind of make the quality of the videos better. Obviously, we've got up and coming Archimedes as well in the panel, and the quality of his videos as well is kind of went, I think, straight from nothing to brilliant and overnight, which it's uncommon.
I don't know about that.
It's really uncommon for a lot of channels, though, because a lot of people are still trying to kind of find their way with different programs and things initially, especially under kind of 2,000 followers. You've got the quality of the videos is kind of second to none. So yourself and Dealer, and that's what kind of yourselves again, Colt, and a few others kind of really sticks out. It's the quality of those videos that you put out. The detail and the information as well. That's really easy to listen to. And it's not spreading false information. I think one thing both of you do very well is not spread false information or spread information that is inaccurate where you can possibly help it. And you're not, I think, Dealer, you're not scared to say and hold your hands up either if you've ever got anything wrong. You've done it a few times. But as of late, you have got quite a few things right. Specifically, one of the things was the Series S. Before that was announced, you said that was a thing for months and months and months and months prior to it, and everyone said it wasn't happening. And of course, it was
2 years straight. Yeah, I mean, when I first talked about the concept of just a modern day S and X, but next gen, that was something that for some reason was hard for people to grasp. I don't understand why, because they already fucking did it today, right? So
yeah.
But it was just, it's everything. I feel like more than being right, even we got a great track record, but at the end of the day, like your delivery and how you get the information out there, are you boring as fuck? You got 100,000 competitors. Are you gonna, how do you sound compared to those guys? Just trying to continually up your game. In the last 8 months, I've 6 months I've been going through stuff and haven't really evolved, a lot in that time. But I'm just trying to stay consistent, going through what's happening, and just doing the best I can with what motivation I've got right now. And hopefully in the next 6 months I come along, get through it, and just kind of keep coming along, moving forward. But again, Archimedes, I remember talking to Archimedes, he was trying to find the right capture process for the channel, and Archimedes does great stuff, and there's a lot of people in this community that are coming up and doing great stuff too, man. I mean, and I expect to see some more in the next month or two. Maybe one of them's in the chat here, actually.
There's probably quite a few in the chat, to be honest. There's a lot of them in the chat today. Again, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. For us, 63 is a big number. We've kind of hit peak of 70 concurrent at the minute, so that's great. And obviously, it's nice to see Joe from ID at Xbox Game Song of Iron sitting in the chat there, talking away to everybody. No, it's great to see everybody here, and thank you very much. Make sure everybody, obviously, if you can, share the stream, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're enjoying the content, we'll get into more of the meat and potatoes now, though, or the kind of one of the main topics, which is leading nicely into our next generation, which is our games of this generation. Our favorite games on either platform. Now, of course, not all of us have got Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. So, if you've only got an accumulative list, then go for it. But we'll start with our guests. Dealer, first of all, what kind of your standout games of this gen been on across all platforms? What is it that's really stood out to you? What's your favorites?
Number one is going to be God of War or Witcher 3.
Ooh, or Witcher 3.
Those two are like the best games ever made, in my opinion. Really. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to be easy to take those two down, but Cyberpunk, of course, I'm excited. But yeah, definitely those. I mean, Odyssey was great. Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make it quick. That was it. You know, those games. And not to say there weren't a ton of other great games. Like Doom Eternal was one of the best games of this year. I think it's probably game of the year so far. I think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order last year took a lot of other games and smashed them into one. And guess what? It was amazing. If you haven't played Fallen Order, which runs at a lock 60 FPS in that performance mode on Series X, by the way, you definitely want to play that. That game's amazing.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. That's one of the games we gave out the other day, actually, to Pong Soul, who won it. I loved that game, start to finish, Fallen Order. Really, really good fun. Only thing I would have wished was maybe a little bit more variance on the planets and the maps and things like that. And but other than that, loved it. Loved the game. Got to agree with you as well. Actually, God of War and Witcher are up there in my kind of some of my top games of the whole generation. Specifically, God of War. That one really stuck out to me. Yeah, absolutely brilliant game. And as much like you say, as much as I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk, that's going to be quite a hard one. Witcher and God of War going to be quite a hard one to knock off top pillar. But we'll see how it goes. What is it that really stuck out for you for both of those games, Witcher and God of War?
Witcher was holy crap, a 45-minute side mission that if I wouldn't have done and I would have found out that I was there the whole time, I would have punched myself in the face. Like, side content was so amazing in that game. Just consistently a phenomenal experience for 200 hours. God of War was the same, but for 25, 30 hours in a different way. Just the it just matched up, but using different things. You know, it was the more linear but not linear version of that, but not. You know, none of it makes sense. It's just how I felt. It was great.
It's early days for you, dude.
Sounded like boys.
And I zoomed in on the nipples, and they was great at 30 frames.
Oh, there was lots of nipple in God of War. There was lots of nipple.
I'm puking more.
Yeah, me. No, I've got to agree. That was as much as it's hard to describe. That game it's very much side quests wise. They're quite entertaining side quests. The story was good. The gameplay was brilliant. The world was brilliant. Kind of learning about the world and different things. Yeah, unbelievable game. Unbelievable. And I'm looking forward to seeing it potentially with a boost mode on PlayStation 5 to see what differences that can make to it, if it does, before we get Ragnarok. Chris, your favorite games of the generation, what really stood out to you?
Well, I'll give a nod to The Witcher 3 like you guys. Slightly different opinion on God of War. I think I kind of got an hour or two into it and got stuck in that, oh, this is a bit shit mode, but I know I need to go back to it because every single person has said it's brilliant. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like shit, but I got kind of like the motivation had died down, you know, in the first like hour or so, because it's almost like this massive kind of tutorial getting you into your powers and stuff, isn't it? And I don't know whether I was just not in the right frame of mind, not in the mood, but I need to go back. Obviously,
start from the beginning. Start from the beginning, Chris. You got to do it. Come on.
I will do. One of my. But the interesting thing is, one of my kind of friends and foes on Twitter, good old Optimus Code. We have kind of tiff and tap on each other all the time. And have a good laugh. If you look at some of his stuff from a few weeks ago, he kind of got caught in that, like, he wasn't sure whether he was enjoying God of War and stuff, and I think he pushed through that and then loves it, you know, like everyone does. And I think just at the time, I kind of, you know, I didn't really push through. I was doing other stuff as well. So, yeah, like Dealer said, I'm going to start it from the beginning again and crack on. I think Witcher 3 is just immense. I think the atmosphere of the world, the gameplay and stuff is great, but Red Dead Redemption 2 for me is just a bang for buck. You know, I know kind of some people are split on it, but it was a game that I just played from start to finish every day, hours on end. You know, felt like I was part of this blockbuster, you know, Western film. The environments are great. You know, the side missions, the elements that you can just kind of crack on yourself with, hunting, just exploring the world, go from one part through to, big plains, through to kind of snow, all of that stuff, immense dialogue, voice acting, just such a good game for me. And it was like, it was a real, as you get to the end and the story with Arthur and everything like that, it was just an epic experience for me. So it was, that probably takes it. There's lots of other stuff which I love. The first Project Cars and iRacing and stuff, just because, if I want to play a racer, if I want to race around my local racetracks, Alton Park and stuff like that, then I can do, and that's awesome. But I think just Red Dead just kind of caught me from the moment it launched, and I just played it kind of non-stop until I finished it off, really.
Yeah. I mean, that's to be fair, that's one that I missed out. I haven't, and you can shoot me for saying this, but I haven't put, and it's simply because I haven't had the time, and I know how big that game is. I haven't really. I think I've played 2 hours of Red Dead 2. 2 hours. Yeah, I haven't jumped into that game. It's just it's only because though I know how big that game is, so I'm scared to get started.
The daunting task.
Yeah, it's a daunting task. I'm like, as soon as I get started, I'm gonna have to finish it. I can't just. Yeah, it is a beautiful game though. Beautiful game, and it is fun to play. From what I've played so far, it is fun, and I've heard the story only gets better over the course of the game as well. So I will have to jump into it, but I'm also. Now I know if I'm playing it on the Series X, I'm not going to have to wait as long to get into the game. I'm not going to. The whole thing's going to load and perform better. So there's a lot of kind of bonuses to holding off on some of these games until the Series X pops in 27 days.
Yeah, definitely. Probably easier for me to jump onto. I know God of War's not as long. It's still a long game, but probably easier for me to jump on God of War and smash through that as opposed to you jump on Red Dead and smash through
that. never going to get 200 hours worth of that game done.
Is your brother in the chat, Chris? Is that Rich Garnell? Or?
Oh, I don't know. He may be. I'm not. I'm not looking at the chat. Yeah, that's my brother is in there. Yeah.
You have a fan.
He's like your biggest hater.
Yeah.
Who's this Chris?
Arch enemy.
If you want to put any stories into the chat
Twitter
about Chris, then go ahead.
A fair bit of shit's gone my brother's way when people have started threatening me with death and stuff. So as soon as they kind of did the little kind of investigations and found out he was my brother, then I think he got a load of shit just by default. So
started stalking your life on LinkedIn. God, hey. Have you had any more death threats since you've last been on the show, Chris? Has there been any more?
No. It was just
calmed down a bit.
Yeah, it was that one, which it was probably just the same person, and obviously got a bit of support. I had, in all honesty, I had like a bit of a personal kind of off, out of the public chat with Dealer just about kind of how he handled some of that. I think a lot of you guys who've kind of put yourself out there at some point have experienced it, and I think Dealer just had some wise words of, as shit as it is, you just have to kind of, block, move on, try not to give them.
Honestly, man, I might have got one or two of these things in the whole time. Maybe I can't even remember any of them. If I've gotten any, I don't remember them, and I assume I've had one or two. And I say that knowing that I blocked a lot of the most toxic guys, right? Mm-hmm. But honestly, they don't like it when you, a developer who has credibility, and you will, and you always will, get on a show like mine. Your voice is amplified and magnified. You get 20 articles written about you, and it's saying something that they don't like. Yes. And this is the only reason that they'll come at you. If you said that shit somewhere else and never got picked up on, they wouldn't have cared. You know, so just know that it's part of the game, man. And as somebody who's got some influence, at least in what the media are saying, it's kind of, they're hissing at you in the corner. They're hissing at you because they don't like the fact that your message is getting picked up on by somebody's articles. So just keep at it. And I did tell Chris, like, look, you don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up. Don't even make it public because that's what they want. Fuck them, you know,
attention seekers.
Yeah.
To be fair, the only time I've had a stupid message in my inbox, because I've got my inbox closed off anyway, unless you're a follower or I follow you. And the only one I had was after Colt was on the show last time with Chris, and I had some silly message just saying I kind of Colt's fanboy, something along those lines.
Colt was trying to say an Xbox or two on Twitter, but you know, I mean, hey, Colt's a great guy. He's not toxic. He does kind of push it a little bit here and there, but at the same time, the guy that's complaining to you just called you, you know, the worst fucking shit in the world because you like Xbox. So at the end of the day, like, is this guy a hypocrite or what? Like, who gets, you know, it's one of those things where you got to look at what they're saying.
It's good. It's good the fact you can't even say I read it. I just deleted it. I just read it, laughed, and deleted. There we go. Goodbye. Move on. But no, it is stupid. You can say this the one little sentence. You'll have all experienced it now. I know Chris does, and Dealer specifically does. But one little sentence, I think even Archimedes has now, and that's it. You've got 45,000 little girls messaging and commenting just how much they hate what you do and your content's rubbish.
Like, hang on, how much traction does this guy get? I don't like this guy. Well, fuck you too.
One time in my DM, I didn't respond to a message. And then after a couple hours, he already wrote, "Fuck you." I was like, what the fuck? I'm working, dude. Give me a fucking break.
That was me. That was my soccer account.
That was you, Dealer. Damn you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you too.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, but you have some crazy people, man. It's ridiculous. And I think, like you said, Dealer, just don't give them the attention because that's what they're looking for, right?
Yeah, they're seeking for it.
Yes, exactly. Like Red Dragon, you know, also such an attention seeker. But they're just doing it for negative attention. It's like children, right? I have a son of 4 years old, and when he doesn't get attention, he tries to get it on a negative way, right? That's how it goes, and that's the same behavior that is on Twitter going on as well. And sometimes I'm responding, "Hey, I have already kids at home, so get the fuck out of here." You know, I don't want three extra. It's crazy.
It's just absolutely mad. It's especially on the build up to the new consoles. It just gets wild.
That's
We almost got 100 people watching. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button, share it out, and subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
100.
I'm on a dealer podcast.
Let's go.
We're gonna get you on somehow, Chris. You keep on ignoring you on Twitter. I've seen that. I'm paying attention, Dealer. Don't you worry. You can't squeeze him on, but I'll get Chris on. Don't worry.
You have some Patreons as well, Dutch?
If only. Dear me. We'll get slightly back on topic. Flap, what is your game or games of the generation so far then? Or to end it off?
Yeah, what a question. A bit like Chris, really. It's got to be Red Dead for me. Absolutely love that game. If I could just play one game for the rest of my life, it would probably be that, to be honest. It's just so much depth to it. I love it. I've played it twice, actually. Gone through the whole thing twice. But I'm a bit like you, though, Dutch. I've never really had enough time to play Witcher 3, so I've still got that to look forward to. And I'm looking forward to getting that on the old Series X, actually.
Well, as far as I was aware as well, I'm sure CD Projekt mentioned that they were going to be doing a next-gen patch for that game.
Yeah, with ray tracing and 60 frames and everything. It's going to be awesome.
So,
not 120, come on. We riot!
But no, I'm looking forward to what Series X is going to bring to Witcher 3 and enjoy it on that level. But I've got a few others, actually. I liked Rise, Son of Rome. And if you go back to 2013 when it kind of first came around, I still think graphically it holds up even now, to be honest.
God, yeah.
Considering that, it was obviously, they were trying to bundle the bloody Kinect with, Xbox One back in the day. And it had Kinect functionality. I still think it's a really good game. I'd say graphically, I think it still holds up as well, even now. Do you know what I mean? 7 years later. For another one, Doom 2016 for me. I know Doom Eternal is a phenomenal game, but I think for me, Doom 2016 kind of started that that level of graphical fidelity for me. And even now, it feels like a next-gen game when I play it now, and it's 4 years old, which is ridiculous.
And now the engine belongs to Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what I was going to say. What the hell are they going to do with the Series X? It's going to. I mean, Doom 2022, whatever it's going to be, that's going to be phenomenal. Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 4, open world driving game. Awesome. Absolutely love it. Still play it to bits now.
Yeah.
And another one that took me off guard actually was A Plague's Tale, Sobo.
Man,
really loved it. I
have it on my list as well.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to like that game and absolutely fell in love with it. And again, graphically, that's pretty good. It's a little bit quirky in areas.
Good shout.
Yeah, no, I like that game. That's my list.
Sweet. Which is out of all those, which is the one that if you could start again and pretend you didn't have the kind of memory of playing that game and start it from scratch, is there any of those that you'd love to do that with?
Well, let's treat Red Dead as a given on that one, so let's not count that. But that's a bloody good question. You know what? I probably had the most fun in Doom 2016. I just love running around shooting things to shit, to be honest.
Who doesn't? Yeah. Senseless violence sometimes.
Well, I mean, I've been around since the Quake days and the original Doom days. I'm an old fucker, so yeah, that's my bag, to be honest. I love all of that.
Sweet. Archimedes, what is your top list of this generation? What have you got? Anything that stands out?
Well, on the multiplat side, it's definitely The Witcher 3, my game of the generation. I just love that game. I don't know how many hours I put into it. I have 4 complete playthroughs, and on my Switch now, on my 5th playthrough, actually. It's just an amazing game. I absolutely love it. One of the best games ever made. But there were a couple of other fantastic games this generation that stood out to me. AC Odyssey was definitely one of those. I remember it came out about a week or two before Red Dead 2. And then Red Dead 2 came out. I stopped playing Odyssey. But since I really did not like Red Dead 2 too much, I thought it had a lot of pacing issues. It was
very what?
Oh, definitely. I was just bored too many times. And really, it was for me, actually, Red Dead 2 would be probably one of the biggest disappointments for me. And just for the fact, because it's not a bad game, but I loved the first one. The first one is one of the 3 best games ever made, if you ask me. But it is. And so I was so excited for Red Dead 2, and I just was too many times bored in that game. Those long rides along the countryside, yes, beautiful and everything, but it's pacing. It didn't. So I stopped playing Red Dead 2, went back to Odyssey, had a blast with that game. I finished Red Dead 2 eventually, but Odyssey was amazing. And one of the best DLCs ever released with Legacy of the First Blade was absolutely amazing. Hellblade stood out to me. It was really an incredible immersive experience. The binaural sound design is something I haven't heard ever since in another game. Absolutely amazing experience. Then I wanted to mention Destiny, because I think Destiny really introduced this whole games as a service kind of thing that is now going on. I know that the concept wasn't really new, but Destiny took it somehow to another level. And to this day, I regularly play Destiny. Well, not for the last 2 weeks because I can't log on anymore. For some reason, they just won't let me on the servers. But it's something I really should mention here. Yeah, then a lot of the other games that have been mentioned, Jedi Fallen Order, amazing game. A Plague Tale Innocence was also on my list. Shadow of Mordor stood out to me when it was released. Had a blast playing that.
That had a little bit of controversy with its loot boxes, though, didn't it?
Yeah, well, the first didn't have those loot boxes. First game. So we're fine here.
You said Shadow of Mordor, not Shadow of War.
Exactly. And yes, Flap said Doom, so I will say Wolfenstein 2. I absolutely love that game. Such an over-the-top action shooter. Yeah, and I don't know whether it counts as a game for this generation because technically it was released last gen, but it's Diablo 3. I in the Xbox One version I put, I don't know, 500 hours or so. So definitely I should mention that game. Yeah.
Sweet.
There's quite a list here.
Quite a list. Patjeuh, what were your kind of top standout games of this generation then that you've played?
Well, my number one will definitely be, and believe it or not, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, because
good one.
Ori is a really, really nice game. Visual, music, gameplay. So, yeah, that's like my number one game for this generation, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I normally play PUBG, of course. That's...
You've only played that a little bit, though. You haven't really... You've only just started.
Wait, what? I think I have like over 1,700 hours in it, so... No, I'm not playing it. So yeah, and I really like Grounded. It was a big surprise for me because first of all, I didn't was like expecting a good game, but when it came out, I was really surprised about the way it plays, the way it looks. So it's also another game for me in the top 5.
Patjeuh.
Yeah.
You've got 73 days into PUBG.
Yeah, exactly.
His girlfriend likes that as well. Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's that's my main game, as you guys already know. So yeah, like Archimedes also said, or it was Flap, I guess. Forza Horizon 4. That's that's one of the my main racing games as well. Really looks amazing, plays good. Also had I think all the achievements in a week, I guess, when it came out.
In 1 week.
Yeah, so like before all the DLCs came out. So I couldn't stop playing it. Like if I woke up early morning, I will start playing. So yeah, it's a pretty addictive game.
Yeah. Was you surprised at how different the seasons make it? Because I thought it was just going to be a bit of a gimmick, but actually it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I really like it because if it changed like with seasons, it will make the game more challenging. Like also getting some achievements on the winter season, because winter season is like one of the, I don't know, the hardest to play on. So it also makes the getting the achievements or anything more difficult. So yeah, I really liked it that they changed the season every time. So yeah.
Sweet. To be fair, the Forza Horizons, again, another one of those games, both 3 and 4. I kind of have them beside each other in my kind of top 5 games. Mainly 3 for its expansions. The map itself was brilliant, but the expansions were so fun. Hot Wheels was just one of those expansions you couldn't stop playing. Such a brilliant, different type of kind of racing game expansion as well that we hadn't really seen before. But Forza Horizon 4, both of them, in fact, are key kind of components of games where you can stop playing it for a month, 2 months, pick it back up, stop playing it again, and have just the same amount of fun. Just so easy to jump in and just have fun with your friends or by yourself and drive around, do anything you want, really.
Yeah,
such a good game.
Yeah, it is.
And next we will go to Erwin. What's your top games of this generation, brother? What you got on your list?
Yeah, so I put Gears 5 on number 5, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not a multiplayer guy in Gears. I'm getting too old for that shit. But I really liked single player. Looked great. For me, it was kind of a confirmation that the Coalition was really doing a good job with Gears. really taking good advantage of the Unreal Engine. I was really, at times, I was like, whoa, it's looking really good. The semi-open world stuff, they took some first steps in it. I think everybody liked that. So yeah, Gears 5 was really good to me. Then I have a Plague Tale on 4. Really a surprise game for me. I saw it and I wasn't really that interested at first. And then I had the game was coming out on Game Pass, and I was like, "Whoa, man, this is really good!" It's like I had really something like a The Last of Us feeling, something like that. Really on that level. So I was really impressed. So that was a good game. I think Asobo is doing a really good job as the studio, making Flight Simulator as well. Microsoft should really get them. But yeah, maybe it's only a matter of time. Then I have Forza Horizon 3 and 4 on number 3. I love those games. It looks absolutely brilliant. I like the maps. I like all the cars. I like that there's so many details on the cars, on the world. It's just a really good game. And it's also the game where I start really doing a lot of more photography in games. Really start to take my interest in. I posted a lot of pictures over the last years together with you, Drew. We took a lot of pictures, and man, the game is absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait till Horizon 5. On number 2 was The Last of Us 2. I changed it because The Last of Us should be on number 1 and PUBG should be on number 2. The Last of Us 2 just gave me an incredible experience. I talk about it multiple times. And it's almost on the same level as PUBG, but PUBG was really more the feeling that I was almost 60 years old again, playing it through middle of the night with Patjeuh, with Barry and somebody else also, Mew, that we were playing till 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, just playing those multiplayer level or multiplayer games and just trying to get that chicken dinner, man. It's that feeling still to this day, the cooperation together in that game. Getting that chicken dinner to being in the last stand, it gives me an incredible feeling. And I know technical-wise the game has its flaws, and I know that. But the feeling that you play together as a team, the looting and stuff like that, the excitement, I still get chicken skin sometimes because of it. So I absolutely love it. And yeah, then I have, in my top 5, I don't really have then any place anymore, but I would like to as a title Gran Turismo Sport, because that game is absolutely fabulous on my racing wheel. It's such a good game. Online is just also such a good game with the ranking system. When you level up, you go to play with better players. It's fair racing. The track limits are good. The force feedback in the game is good. It's actually a game that Forza Motor should be, and I hope it will be in the next series. Yes. So that was my top 6 actually. Then right.
Sweet. No, it's whatever ones really stand out. To be honest, it's been quite a few. I know there's obviously going to be varying ones across the board. I've got a varying one as well that jumps in there that quite a few people wouldn't have had, but it's quite understandable because it's a very kind of niche game, I suppose. But before I jump into that, I'll ask Shomberlon, what's your favourite games of the generation?
It was a hard question, I think, because there's been so many big games. Good games. Yeah. I'll start with it's not actually in my top 5. Is God of War. It's only not in there because I haven't finished it. And the reason I haven't finished it was it came out just as I was writing my master's thesis. And then straight after that, I then had to travel to the other end of the country. Well, not other end of the country to the Scottish Highlands. And it's just one of those things that other things came out and I didn't end up getting back into it, which I've started trying to recently. But again, it's like I said before, other things, I couldn't remember the buttons. I was getting smashed by even the smallest of enemies. So I'm too far in to start again. So I'm just going to have to have a proper crack at it and get back into it. So that's one that didn't quite make it. But the rest of them, in no particular order. Horizon Zero Dawn. I know a lot of people didn't like this one. They thought it was quite boring, but I found it quite interesting. I quite liked the story. I liked killing robot dinosaurs and all that lot.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. It was my favorite PlayStation exclusive this gen.
I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Anyway, next would be, I kind of cheated a little bit with this one. I've kind of put the Wolfenstein series because I just the main ones. The one they did with the twin sisters, it was all right, but it wasn't great. It was the writing was god awful.
I think I keep forgetting the name of it, but I know which one you're talking about.
Youngblood.
Youngblood.
That's the one. Yeah.
I mean, as a game itself, it's all right, but just the characters irritated me. I found them really annoying. Whereas the main series, just all of those games were amazing. Next is, where's my list? Red Dead 2. I've not completed the story of that, but I do have like 14 hours in the co-op in the online.
Right. Okay.
Which I really enjoy. But I need to finish the main story. But I'm probably going to wait until a patch comes out for the Series X. Just so I guess, like somebody said before, the flipping load times on that, it's like what, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, even without a patch, that should be flying through load times again now. Even if it's down to 30 seconds, even if it's down to 30 seconds, you're going to notice it immediately. And I think it is. I think they've got it down to something like 37 seconds unpatched.
Like you can go.
Probably chop quite a bit off there now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you can do a lot of things. You can go make yourself a cup of tea or coffee.
A cup of tea.
You can go lay some cables. You can do whatever you want.
Crumpets, huh?
Eat some crumpets, yeah, Daj. I'm sure Daj, he's in the chat. He'd make a couple of crumpets and a brew. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with that. For the next one, again, I've cheated a little bit. I really enjoyed Titanfall, the original multiplayer.
Yeah, right.
Titanfall 2 single player. So I kind of mashed them into one.
Yeah.
I just thought Titanfall 1 was so much better than 2. And for multiplayer, I think it's probably one of the best multiplayer games out there, even though it was one of the first in the generation. I think the guys at Respawn nailed the shooting and that a lot better in the first than they did in the second. And the final one is a little indie game. It's one of those games you wish you could wipe your memory and do again. It's only like a 2 or 3 hour game, but Firewatch.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I heard a lot of positive things about that game.
For some reason, I just really enjoyed the story. So, it was well written. That'd be the reason why I enjoyed it. But yeah, it was a good story. Voice acted as well.
Sweet. Is that your top list of the generation?
That's me 5. Yeah.
Happy days. I'll go into mine then. Mine were quite easy. You've posted my PlayStation top 5 the other day. Yeah. So primarily for that one, I had Days Gone in there. Final Fantasy VII Remake, even though of course that is a timed exclusive. Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War was my number 1 for PlayStation. For Xbox, this one was, again, people are going to kind of agree to disagree, but Quantum Break I had down there. I actually really loved that game. Obviously, aside from some of the episode parts of that game that dragged on a little bit, the actual gameplay itself and the story was really fun. And I enjoyed seeing kind of the decisions that the different kind of the public made in Quantum Break, whether or not they sided with the guy or decided to go against him. And I really enjoyed that game. I'd like to see kind of a sequel to that or something kind of expanded on that.
Yeah, that would be great. I liked it more than Control. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people, again, because it was at the time 900p or something like that, and
720p checkerboard or something, right? Because
probably
it was all fuss going on.
Upscale to 900p. But either way, it was a brilliant game. I mean, I loved the game. It was really fun to play in it, very interesting. Another one, again, that was kind of controversially lower res than it should be, but even on PC, and I think anybody with a PC that's trying to play this game knows that you can't go much higher anyway. Rise, Son of Rome.
Yes.
I expected that game to scale much better on PC when I played it, and it literally didn't change a thing. Like it was pretty much identical on PC as it was on console. I was like, okay, well, fair enough. But loved that game. Again, would love, and I think it's one of those kind of games that most Xbox fans would love to see a sequel to.
Yeah.
Definitely expanded on the universe, expand on the combat, expand on the kind of the maps and the exploration and things like that. I think that's kind of potential to be a contender to the God of War series if done properly.
Sure. Yeah. They're so close to making it a really big title. And it's a shame that Crytek doesn't want to give the rights. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So Microsoft should buy Crytek then in complete.
Just get it done. See, one of my things is one off the back of yours, and I think it was it Flaps? I think was the Asobo Studios game.
Plague Tale.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't believe that's been on everyone's list. I thought I was going to be the only person bringing that up.
Oh,
Same here, Flap.
Brilliant game, but. I think Asobo, if Microsoft needs to buy any studio, Asobo is one of those up-and-coming studios that have the talent and the capabilities to really push on.
I mean, it's totally incredible that they developed their own engine for a Plague Tale. When I played it first, I thought it was Unreal Engine because the look of it and everything, but it's actually their own engine. Incredible for such a small studio.
And also used in Flight Sim as well. Obviously, they've used their engine to help kind of with the development of Flight Sim, which is that game is obviously it's beautiful. Not obviously, they're constantly updating and adding to it and making sure all the cities have went over afterwards to make sure that they kind of look as realistic as possible. I've obviously done some flyovers for Erwin and Breuer and. Your houses don't look like your houses, but
no, not at all.
Not in the slightest.
No.
But the area is somewhat recognizable.
Yes, exactly.
Somewhat recognizable.
You are somewhere in the south of Holland, but it's almost my house. Yes.
Yeah.
Look like Minecraft. Yeah.
But again, though, great work on the game, and I'd love to see Microsoft kind of jump in and get them. The final couple of games for me for Xbox were Halo 5, Gears 5, and Forza Horizon 3 and 4. Again, I tie 3 and 4 together because very much, again, it was both this year, both really pushed the Horizon series further. Gears 5, I love the open world element to it. I think, though, after Gears 5, they need to have a break from mainline Gears series and kind of reinvent it a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Same for Halo. We know Halo Infinite is pushing that out and changing it up and changing the series and going open world and everything. So we'll see how Infinite turns up when it's complete. But yeah, I think Gears should be a number of years, at least another 4 or 5 years until we'll see another Gears if they give it its rightful break from the franchise. But on the note of studios, mentioning Asobo, Dealer, I want to get you involved again here, bro. In terms of acquisitions, of course, we have seen the almighty ZeniMax come to Xbox over the last few weeks. But, of course, Satya Nadella did come out and say this isn't the end of our spending. We are proactively looking to purchase more studios. What do you think in terms of studios that you've seen kind of work alongside Xbox over the years? What would be your preferred studio to bring into the portfolio?
Honestly, I don't really know. I mean, there's a lot of publishers and studios that make good stuff, but then they'll go make some stuff that's not so good. So I do know that we've talked about Warner Brothers in the past. We know that Microsoft were legitimately looking at those guys. I think Microsoft are looking at everybody right now, and it could be a lot of different people. But CD Projekt was obviously one that like people would want just because they're so amazing. There's people like Ubisoft just because big games like Assassin's Creed. I honestly don't know why. I just don't care. After the Bethesda thing, like. You know, I just don't care anymore. Like they got the games. I want to see them now. You know.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And to be fair, the amount of studios they have now, 23 studios and 35 kind of development teams within that. It's kind of insane, and again, like yourself, you just want to see what comes off the back of it, and exactly what they've got that they're working on, because we know that ZeniMax have quite a few new IPs that have not been talked about or discussed or shown off yet.
I just want to see like some new, exciting games. You know, it's a damn pandemic. I'm tired of this damn drought. I saw Fallout 4 running at double the frame rate on the consoles yesterday after their announcement, and that legitimately got me excited. I don't know. I guess that's just how low things have sunk. I don't know. I think that as a guy who's put some time in the PC version of that game, you know, I want to see that on console, and I'm excited to try that out. And it's a great game. I just want more experiences like that, I guess. And until we see more game announcements, there's not really much that's going to kind of get the spark going for me. I don't care about the studio acquisitions. It could be anybody at this point. They already, after Bethesda, I wouldn't be surprised if it was fucking anybody. And you know, I'm just ready for the games.
But what do you think that we need to let's say for the genre or something like that for Xbox? Because there are a great variety of developers now making all different kind of games. I feel
like they were already the best at variety, I think, before. In terms of, you know, hey, you got your RTS franchise here, you got your racing franchise here, you got your third-person action franchise here, you got your kind of story-based stuff that they're going to be trying to do with Initiative more so. We've been hearing, and I'm sure I'm missing a few, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like they were already doing decently in variety. It's really about kind of getting that quality up there, letting people build the games they want to build, and I think that's what they're doing. It's taking a minute, you know, so just ready to see them.
I think that's one thing none of us have been shy about, really, is saying that, yes, they've got variety, they've got all these options, and they're in the perfect place to kick off the generation. What they really need to do now is show it. Show the kind of the output. Show what.
And then they walk out on stage and like, it's in Iceland. And we're like, you know, no one gives a fuck.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, you have the same point of view as me then coming off the back of that one.
Yeah, so why do you think they are holding off on showing it? Because it can't be. I'm tired of this whole argument. All the games are early in development. I've said this in one of my videos recently. I really made a list. Almost all of the announced games are more than 3 years in development. Fable is close to 4 years in development now. They have to have something to show.
Apparently mocap, but then, you know, then that's an excuse. And then I'm like, well, don't show mocap. Show Craig Infinite's face built in upon, you know, the environment or something. I don't know. Show the environment, you know. But, you know, then again, Halo's been in development forever, and motherfucker didn't have no textures on his forehead. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think it has to do with
Sorry, Pod.
Yeah, well, I think it has to do with like we started with Dirt 5. I think with the easy backlash that you get on the internet, I think that's why they're a little bit more careful these days.
Yeah,
by showing stuff early, right? Because if a game is even 2 years out still and it'll already get a bad reputation, then you fight.
Then overbuild that shit, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
God of War 2016 us, you know, it is possible to show games years out that are indicative of the final product. You know, it really is. So.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
I think there's like a little bit of a shift, isn't there? I mean, so you go all the way back to when I was working on Killzone 2, and you know, that game was like, it was introduced to the world just purely in it was like, you know, a CG kind of what to aim for trailer, and that was kind of, you know, that was like an internal, this is what we want to hit, and you know, the execs wanted to use it, and then the hardware came out and it didn't look fucking anything like that, even though you know, the guys got close to a great style and stuff like that, but it just wasn't it just wasn't that type of final product, or the graphics fidelity and stuff. But I think as much as kind of praise DF and a lot of other places, I think some of those guys with checking resolutions, checking FPS, all of this stuff, I think it's got people slightly scared to show stuff, even in an early stage, because if you release a video, you release a really high quality video or gameplay video or something like that, then someone out there is going to put that through an FPS check, and they're going to look at res, they're going to do this, that, the other, and then before you know it, a game which is kind of a year, 2 years off is it's only running at this. It's dynamic. It's dropping frames. It's not hitting this. And sadly, a lot of us who were informed, people on this panel and dealers podcast and so on and so forth, kind of understand kind of previews, development cycles, all of this stuff. But you've got a lot of people that use that for ammunition. I'm not saying that's the right way to handle it, or necessarily the excuse. I mean, we've seen Sony and others, non-Sony games in the past, show this amazing looking product, and then by the time it gets to release, it's just being downgraded because they've obviously what those studios are doing is they're basically leveraging, right, we're going to leverage some PR, we're going to kind of do what Guerrilla and Sony did with the Killzone trailer, but actually just put it on the most powerful PC hardware, dev kits, so on and so forth, get a little snapshot of what we want that to turn out like, and basically work backwards from there. And if we've got to put cardboard people in the crowd because it's having a knock-on effect on FPS and physics in a racing game and so on and so forth, then they'll do that. But the big wow reveal has won everyone over, and I think Dealer and some of you guys are right on that. And I think Microsoft needs to take a few more risks in kind of showing a big wow vertical vertical slice moment. And if it does get downgraded a bit, then so what? People have been blown away by it and bought your hardware.
It's your first impression, that sticks. So blow us away at the first time already.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. They really do need to just go for it. Just throw it out there. Show us. I don't understand. Another game that they could easily show us running on the Series X is Gears Tactics. Show it. That game works on the PC, no doubt.
Yeah, that's true. That's got to be ready to go, isn't it?
It works with the controller on the PC. So it's just show it. Show it running. That's one game. I want to see Flight Sim running on Series X.
And Flight Sim. Yeah,
that'll work. No problem. Get that done.
Yeah.
There's two.
Unless they've got some big kind of wow. I know.
And actually show the medium. Now that game has a release trailer now. If you can show it up to a release trailer point, then show physical gameplay of that game on the Series X. Yeah.
But I mean, are we going to start seeing this stuff? Because I know kind of I've heard a bit about it, Dealer and Tim Dog and stuff have heard, a lot more. But, I think even Aaron said it himself, they're going to start showing Series X gameplay. You've got a kind of fan fest coming up. So if they might have this big kind of, I think Erwin said it earlier, they're trying to get the games to the most final position as possible so they don't get caught out in a Halo moment.
Yeah.
And maybe they're there now. So FanFest October, the run up to launch, they start kind of wowing people. And then those people can march into retailers who, Xbox said there's going to be retail units in store. So there's going to be stock. And they do the kind of last hurrah to get people to walk in store. And if there is a PS5 on the shelf and a Series X or S, then they look to purchase the Xbox models or whatever. So I don't know. We need to start seeing stuff. Dealer was right. Fallout looked, pretty awesome in back compat mode, but we want to see something, really showcase that kind of hardware. Gears. I'm hoping Gears has got some ray tracing in there. It's not the be all and end all, but it'd be nice to kind of, reinforce your power and your hardware and stuff. And that is a super talented big team that could have spent some time getting ray tracing up and running in some shape or form. So we just need to see some stuff, don't we? But
same with Horizon 4, right? It's going to be on the Series X, going to be 4K 60 with all epic settings or whatever. It's just a matter of scaling, right? So just run it, take a gameplay video of it, and show it. Let people get excited about it. So I don't understand why they do it not with the enhanced titles, to be honest. But probably have the reason. But
I think they're trying to pace themselves with the information that they've got to release between now and launch, with the embargoes that they're sort of gradually lifting.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with. We all know that a hype in social media dies off really, really fast. If they announce today or show today Forza or Gears or whatever, the hype is gone next week. And that's basically what Chris said. They need to have that hype up close to launch. So I expect the big news in the last 2 weeks before launch. Yeah, and probably with a initiative trailer or something like that the day before the console comes out. Yeah. Something big.
They did good with the pre-orders.
Yeah, exactly. One day before the pre-orders, Bethesda, bam.
Yeah.
And they will do the same with the release. So on 9th of November, we can expect something new, big.
We hope. We hope.
Yeah, we hope. Sure.
Did you heard something about that, dealer?
Nothing.
For the coming weeks?
I've heard a lot, and I may or may not have access to certain things I have or have not announced publicly.
Oh,
okay.
Thanks for sharing, mate.
No problem.
Thank you for clearing that one up. Yeah.
I may or may not know what I think about that.
I may or may not have access to
or
certain
may not
things.
know, or have information, or not have information.
Hey, man. I'm a level. I'm eating right now. This is fire. Honestly, I put out a tweet uppercutting a dude in Fight Night saying, "Hey, I'm gonna tweet something the next week. Maybe a week and a half that, it's really gonna upset a lot of these toxic guys, right? So,
yeah,
okay.
There's a reason I put that out there. Stay tuned."
Actually, I think there's a couple of people that have said relatively the same thing as well. There is something that is quite big that's going to rub people the wrong way.
Well, yeah, but it's not necessarily on a. I gotta be careful what I'm saying here.
You can't leave it there. Go on.
It could be on a personal level. It could be on a lot of different levels. So, a lot of these guys hate to see, certain people out there get acknowledged and get stuff and, eat food on podcasts.
So there's a Series X coming to Dila.
I didn't say nothing.
You may or you may not get a Series X.
Yeah, it's already
no,
there.
but I mean, honestly, I'm kidding. I'm just saying that, a lot of this it's one of those things where I expect to hear a lot of things from Microsoft. And they did put out the Gears screenshots, right? Like, that game looks amazing. And now these guys over here talking about Yakuza running at 900p. Shut the fuck up.
just another one right here.
Hot Chips presentation.
Soul has managed to nab another code this week. How is he managing this? This is the third time in 3 weeks he's won a code. Congratulations for Gears 4.
What the fuck did he win again? Come on.
That code was dropped in the chat, so he was fastest fingers first this time.
For next time, he is excluded, man. Come on.
Punk, you're bad. You're bad. That's
Punk,
it.
share the code, man, to somebody else, you greedy bastard.
Dear me.
Oh, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Never
and
mind.
he doesn't pay us, so just to be sure.
Never mind. But no, thanks for Dazarus there for dropping that code in the chat and giving that away.
Pen hammer.
But no, I mean, I want to kind of hear so far. Of course, we know Dealer knows things that are going to be coming shortly that might wind people up. However, I want to know kind of what it is so far from what we have seen from the games we do know that are coming out and on the horizon. What is your kind of most anticipated from what you've seen so far? Archimedes, if you want to kind of go ahead with that one.
I think Avowed is the one for me. I'm a huge Skyrim fan, and Obsidian has delivered with Outer Worlds one of the best RPGs this whole generation. And that was built on very limited funding. and see what they will do with the resources of Microsoft and all the technology they have access to now. I'm really looking forward to see that.
I'll vote for you first of all. Again, I want to see what Obsidian can really do given the opportunity. And it is the game they've mentioned. It is the game that they've wanted to make for quite a while.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be big. Of course, Fable and Hellblade and Halo Infinite. I'm really looking forward to most, but this is really an interesting one about.
Yeah. Patjeuh, we'll get you back involved, brother. From what you've seen so far.
Just as he eats something.
His mouth is full.
Another one. Yeah, man. I gotta do the same thing as Dealer, man. Just eating on the podcast.
Go for it. There's no rules here. You do what you like.
I know.
What's your most anticipated game from what you've seen shown off so far?
For me, it's definitely Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah,
that's one of the next gen games I'm looking for. I'm not sure when I'm able to play it on the Series X, but there will be a day that I will definitely play it on it. So that's my main game that I'm gonna be focused on when I have the Series X. So yeah, man.
Are you gonna jump on that game before you get a Series X, or?
Yeah, probably I will.
Yeah.
Ubisoft have dropped a deep dive on Valhalla, as we was mentioning before. It looks really awesome. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Did they?
When you said it, Flap, I searched it up on YouTube. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna take a look at
really
it.
Good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Character creation stuff and looks
tattoos and stuff.
Unbelievably good.
Yeah.
It's Andrew in the game.
Yeah. I did did some for the just joined in, did some capture for that.
It just made you a little bit taller. That's the only thing.
60 FPS in this game is really gonna show people, what they're buying here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the deep dive 60, isn't it? But we were just discussing before you came on, Dealer, that we weren't sure whether it was suspect it's probably PC, but could it be in Series X on the deep dive? Obviously, there's all the Xbox button prompts and stuff, but
I mean, they should look pretty similar, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm not
definitely
too concerned about it, but it's a beautiful game.
Yeah, I mean, Odyssey was a beautiful game as well, to be honest. So what I said previously is, as long as it's as beautiful, if not more, a little bit more beautiful than Odyssey, then we've got nothing to complain about. Really, that game really was nice.
But first, and what I'm looking forward to is, of course, PUBG on the Series X with 60 FPS. That will be, man, I cannot wait. Yeah, I cannot wait. Like,
did they confirm that?
You can count on it, right, Dealer?
You can count on it, yeah.
Oh, I was just asking. I didn't know if they made a statement on it or whatever. I was curious.
No, but you have the frame rate that is unlocked, so it will be automatically running on 60 there, right?
Yeah.
Because you have two modes, a resolution mode and a FPS mode, and that FPS mode is unlocked. So we will get freaking 60 frames per second.
I like that.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Who was it that played it? Actually, it was one of the guys that do have one of the review units, and he said Tom Warren. He jumped on it. He put the game on. He said that game it was unplayable for him on the One X, but he said that game runs buttery smooth on the Series X. So expecting good things, and obviously we still have even now we still have kind of the odd game where things load up like Play-Doh. And then pop in from miles away.
What channel is this footage on?
This is on Ubisoft's direct channel, deep dive trailer, Ubisoft North America.
I'll be watching.
There's a 20-minute gameplay trailer as well, though. With
there's a 1 hour gameplay. 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm trying to beat the game through a YouTube video. Shit.
And I never like to look at those just because it's so long, and I don't want to go over it when I play it.
Yeah, I've only put the 7-minute one on intentionally here, so it's not too long. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. Mainly, it's all of the actual places within the UK. It isn't just like fabricated. It's exactly how it was then. It's not always beautiful. It's always, a lot of the time, it's muddy and rancid to look at and grim and raining. just like the UK always is. Grim and dark. Raining.
And that's why Chris Grimmel looks so happy all the time.
That's why I have to grow a beard. Fend off any mud and dirt and rain.
I think you should invite Dealer to Liverpool and show him around and see why you're happy.
When the
I'll sleep in your refrigerator.
When the pandy goes away, we'll fly you over, Dealer. Go out into
we'll get you some sunshine. We'll fly over here. How about that?
Yeah, definitely. We'll do it. It'll be like a student exchange swap.
Like, oh, this is why you guys talk like this. All right.
Next, Flap, what are you looking forward to the most so far that you've seen?
Oh, yeah, another good question. Actually, before I do, there's a few people in the chat that I think they're quite perturbed that we didn't mention Sea of Thieves, actually, if any of our games of this generation.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a fantastic game. I think it took most people by surprise as well, actually. But,
it did. And it's
like, where's the rest of
it? You have dogs now in the game.
Yeah, dogs, parrots, monkeys.
This game gets 4 dogs out of 5. Yeah.
And they're running at 60 frames per second. Yeah.
3 parrots out of 5 snakes.
Well, I'm going to cheat on this one a little bit because my most anticipated game is Red Dead 3, actually. And I know we haven't seen or heard anything about it, but I can only begin to imagine what that's going to be like on a Series X.
It's a hell of a cheat.
Yeah.
That's like next gen.
I don't know, is it? No, it can't
That's
be
like
sure.
7 years away, yeah.
No, I hope not. Well, I've got a few, a bit like Archimedes, actually, Avowed, Fable, Elder Scrolls 6, the kind of obvious ones to me. But I'm interested in the Initiatives game as well. You know, this quadruple A thing. I just want to know what it's all about, and that's kind of got me hyped a little bit, to be honest, because that's quite a bold statement, isn't it? Quadruple A.
Yeah,
but it dropped a little bit when I saw or heard his daughter was playing the game at night. But then I was like, "What the fuck? You know, what can we expect?"
Unless you start popping somebody like, and she's, that's fine for kids over there. I don't know.
It's like Sesame Street, right? She's playing. For fuck's sake! I mean, come on. What can we expect? So I'm a little bit worried, mate, about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how they go about getting that one out to us and when they're going to do it as well. But Red Dead 3 for me is the main one. But God, I hope it is this generation. Surely it is. Surely.
I think you'll have a GTA before that, and
I agree. But I'm hoping they're already into that already.
Yeah, GTA 6. I think there's some form of mini exclusivity or something for PlayStation first and foremost. But yeah, we'll get that first. Red Dead. God knows how long that'll take them. I mean, it was a long time from the last one to this one, but
this
obviously
8 years, yeah.
God, you make us feel old now. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Chris, most anticipated so far that you've seen?
So I think for me, it's 2 really. So I'd say Fable. I'm looking forward to. Obviously, I should have mentioned Horizon before because Ralph and the guys over at Playground, and it's a bloody phenomenal studio. So I can only imagine what they're going to do with Fable and how good that's going to look. So I think that's a good one to look out for. Obviously, the new Forza. I think if anyone's going to showcase that off or showcase a racing game off, it's obviously going to be those guys. And we've seen little in-engine stuff and so on and so forth. Not necessarily running on Series X hardware and stuff, I'm sure, but I think that'll look awesome. And I think PS5 side, even though I've kind of not finished it off and stuff, but definitely see what they do with God of War, and it would be The guys over at Gorilla, what they do with, a Horizon, or there's a rumor of, potentially a SOCOM and stuff like that. So just see what they come up with.
Yeah.
SOCOM will be nice, huh? On the Decima engine. Oh, man.
Yeah.
One man can dream.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Dealer, what is your most anticipated game so far? It's got to be something that stands out for you.
Bug snacks. See, we're telepathically connected.
God damn it, Kristen L. Who put this shark hook in my mouth? No, Fable is a big one, but that's the thing. Like, what? I don't know. I feel like they're telling us all the games are so far away, and we're just never catch them. Like Forza, where's that been? It's been 3 years, and apparently that's early development. What the fuck? What's going on? So,
but that's good, dealer. That's good.
Yep. I don't know.
They need some time to improve, mate.
They need some time to bring it out, and we realize it's only got 200 cars again. God damn it! Like starting over.
But if they drive all good, with the right physics, then I'm okay with 200 cars. Huh? They just made 700.
I mean, they already got the best physics, in my opinion.
Not on the wheel, mate. Not on the wheel.
No, I don't use the wheel. I use something that takes the skill. Okay.
Yeah. Takes the skill off.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Forza and Fable and all that stuff. But again, I as I explained earlier, like it's almost like we're all jaded right now. At least I'm saying we're all, because I kind of feel like an asshole for saying it, but I just don't care because we haven't seen that in so long. That I'm just looking forward to the next thing that I can play.
Yeah.
It's gotten so bad. I'm playing NBA 2K. Do you guys understand what that means? I'm playing 2K21, dunking on people and enjoying it because it's such a drought. Like, and I'll probably play basketball from now on because I found that I actually enjoy playing that game. So I've been playing a lot of 2K21. And the next-gen version looks insane, by the way. Like the next-gen version of that game, you guys see that trailer?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Insane.
So like they're really using the CPU on all the AI on the court and the animations and the physics of the players colliding, all that stuff. It looks like they're really, really actually doing something there. So I'm going to play that and I'm looking forward to it. And Fight Night. I've been playing Fight Night a lot. Like, we need a new Fight Night. So I'm just playing kind of what is out. And since Doom Eternal, there's not been a lot to play, So I'm just wanting to play Valhalla right now.
Yeah.
I
don't know how to look forward to what most anticipated. I forgot what that's like.
Oh, God, hey. Erwin, what's your most anticipated, brother?
Yeah, really looking forward to Hellblade 2. Really liked or loved Hellblade 1. I like Ninja Theory, so I'm really wondering what they will bring, and if it will match the trailer that they showed before. I think it will be very close. Will be with the end product with Hellblade 2. So let's see for that. And there was only talks about a new Battlefield, right? It's probably releasing next year or the year after. I don't know. But I absolutely loved Battlefield 4. 5 not so much. I played it quite a bit, but not too much. But I'm really looking forward to a new Battlefield. Really wondering if there's all mass destruction and stuff like that.
Is it a real Battlefield, though? I mean, we haven't had a real Battlefield all generation, pretty much.
Since Patjeuh070 too.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 was the last one, but that was for a year at launch,
That was the beginning of the generation, yeah. Very beginning.
And
I need one like that again because I'm tired of this riding horses and using a mace to beat the fuck out of people with it. I want to, I need all the customization, all the guns,
Yes,
Revolution version 2.0.
And vehicles on the field.
Fun fact, I was playing Battlefield 4 when it first came out. Well, it's about you anyway. It's a story about you.
He's over here juking people.
Yeah, Battlefield 4,
Go ahead,
I think it was. Jumped into a squad with Dealer. 30 seconds later, he removed me from said squad.
Oh, really? Yeah, you probably jumped into a spot that I was probably holding the spot for someone else or something. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out of here!
Fuck off. It was not personal. God damn it. I'm trying to get someone in here. I'm trying to play with this guy, and this guy jumps in here and saves me over and over, probably.
Stop picking me up.
I'm not bitter. Not bitter.
Yeah, please don't.
You were stalking him, mate. You were stalking him. Just be honest. You were in his DMs before, right? And then joining the game.
He's into my DMs. Fuck you.
Yes. Fuck you, dealer. So where was I? Yeah. So what I'm really looking forward to is Game Pass releasing, or what is it? EA Play in Game Pass also. So then I will go back to Battlefield 4. I wonder what the Series X will do with the auto enhancement stuff that is going on. So I will probably get back into Battlefield 4 at launch. So that's something that I look forward to. Of course, the Crack Infinite. Halo Infinite, yes. Really looking forward to that. Always like playing Halo. I really cannot wait to see what they have done in a year's time, if they can polish that turd. Let's see. GT7. I always love Gran Turismo. With dynamic weather now, probably also 4K 60, some checkerboard ray tracing.
You're excited as fuck for a lot of stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward. I'm positive.
You're positive. We're excited.
I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, this is like some holy shit. I can't wait for this thing, and it's up on a pedestal. But you got a table up there with a bunch of shit on it. And you're like, I can't wait to get to this and then this. I'm gonna crawl into the mashed potatoes.
Man, I like those damn potatoes. But no, Gran Turismo is I like GT Sport. Like I said earlier, I like almost everything about the game. So automatically GT7 will be the full-fledged Gran Turismo that we're all waiting for as a racing fan. So looking forward to that, dealer. And then Forza Motorsport. You have that new creative director on board, Chris Asaki, for a while now. I think he understands the community, what the needs are to please the community, where it's lacking.
Add more minivans and limos, right?
And more SUVs and all that kind of trash. Fuck's sake. No qualification in the races, all the dumb shit.
Of course, never ghost any cars that have been lapped.
Yeah, drive with slicks in the rain, right?
That's drive backwards and get bonus points, right?
Oh man, but at least the controller guys are happy when they're playing on the little controller. So,
when we're sitting there blowing the guys on all the wheels and shit away, they have way more degrees of control, and they're basically cheating compared to us. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Let's go ahead for a battle, dealer on the wheel.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, Mike.
I mean, honestly, I used to go hard in Forza, bro, like top 50 in every track without using bitch cars, aka leaderboard cars.
Yes.
All right. On a controller. I need to get back into it, but the online has been so.
It's toxic. It's like ponies on the multiplayer. It's really like that, and on the controller, it's really nice. When I was, let's say, for Forza Motorsport 2, I had a world record even for almost over a year, and I was doing the top 50s also, so I was pretty good on the controller. But once you get on the wheel, on a decent wheel, you never want to go back on a controller, even with the shitty physics that Forza has. It just doesn't bring you the excitement that a wheel gives. So I really hope that they improve the physics and the wheel feel for Forza. And then there's some really some big potential. It's a studio with big budgets, so they need to come up with something better that they produced the last couple of years, I think. Because from Forza 5 to 7, not impressed. So I hope they will improve.
We can all agree it's not nearly as good as Bugsnax.
Nothing is.
You just want those hamburger fingers, don't you?
Now
wiener hands.
Yep. But let's see. Still love the franchise a lot, man. So that was it.
Sweet. Shom, what's your most anticipated so far then, from what we've seen and what we know of?
Does a rumour count as what you know of?
What's the rumour? What rumour are you hoping for? Another Splinter Cell? Is that it?
No, that's never going down this. That's just breaking my heart.
I'm not going down that route again, are we?
The only person that gets more upset about that is Rand.
Yeah.
Rand.
Or really, really, really wants a
And I'm
Splinter
kind of
Cell.
almost on his level. I am almost on Rand's level for wanting a Splinter Cell and getting annoyed with all the crap they're doing. But no, if a rumour, it would probably be Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
But from what we know about, it's probably Avowed is a good one. God of War 2, although I don't believe that's coming out next year. I think it'll be a 2022.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Just because I enjoyed the first one a lot. And whatever the initiative is doing.
Yeah.
Sesame Street, Erwin, leaked it before.
I'm worried.
That's it. Sesame Street the game by the initiative. That's what it is.
Battle Royale.
The
Battle Royale.
Teletubbies Battle Royale.
Throwing tubby
No, I
toast
think-
at everybody. Is that the one?
De Bart de Graaf met.
That's got to be the game changer for Xbox, hasn't it? The amount of talent that they've absorbed.
Yeah, it is. That studio really we expect. That's the problem as well, is the expectation around that studio now. Even though they have not designed as a studio, it's their first ever game.
Yeah.
The expectation around that studio is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Well, they've just secured the materials guy, haven't they? They was it like the director of character materials or something from was it Insomniac or somewhere? I don't know. They've just taken on.
Oh, really?
Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
No,
Lead animator for Nickelodeon.
Yeah, they've just taken on a former director from Insomniac or something. Well, they just keep stealing everyone. They do Santa Monica or somewhere. They've just taken them on answer.
Yeah. And put them straight in their Santa Monica studio.
Yep.
It's all right.
think-
The relocation is simple. It's 5 minutes away.
Well, I think someone, I don't know, also apologies if they're listening, but someone tweeted earlier and said Sony have now got timed exclusives on the developers before they go to the initiative. That's a great tweet. But...
I see the DMs coming.
Here we go.
Death threat incoming. It wasn't my tweet, it was someone else.
Speaking of people losing their shit, John Linneman from Digital Foundry, as we know.
I saw that reply, man. It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
man.
he's losing his shit. Yeah, he's really.
You want to read my
losing his
reply
shit.
to the crowd here? I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like it's a pretty
let's
good
go
reply.
on.
I mean,
Go on.
I'm asking you. I ain't reading it. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll read it. Let's go down the list. 2 seconds here. Hi. Dealer. Let's have a look. Where are you? Where is your reply?
There's a lot of replies, huh?
Yeah. Where is your reply? Is it buried in here?
Here. God damn it, let me do it.
Go on.
All right.
You shout it loud and
Listen.
proud.
Yeah, because John's taking this stuff pretty hard, and I really don't know why, but he feels how he feels. So I said, bro, you gotta just start blocking these fuckers. No acknowledgement. All right. And it's absolute truth. So if you're on Twitter and you see some guys attacking you because you like Xbox, or if you're just excited for something, or I don't know, maybe you're just weird and you like putting your feet in a tub full of green beans. I don't know, you fucking weird shits. Either way, if somebody's just attacking you for no reason, just block them.
I think, I mean, to be fair to John, and hopefully, if he hears this or someone fucking quotes me or something, I think it's been on record that he kind of suffers anxiety and depression and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this stuff kind of hits him.
So you got to be extra
Pretty
careful,
personally.
and you got to really block shit.
Exactly.
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree.
Don't go into any discussions, right?
That or you can't do the online social media stuff because it's
You've just got to go down the Jason Schreier route and just.
don't go down that route. I mean, you're basically blocking anybody who disagrees with you.
Auto block.
Auto block, super block. It's a special move.
He blocks you if he sees a nipple with ray tracing, right?
Or nipple block.
No, it's a good point though, Dealer making, isn't it? Like, he's obviously got a passion for technology and gaming and stuff like that. But if that's the case, then he either needs to be a little bit more careful, or
like the internet is not going to cater to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to worry about. You're not going to come into this space and then ask everybody to abide by your rules. That's not how it works, and the internet knows that. So you're going to have to really be proactive in the type of people that you block or how much you pay attention to it. You have to control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. Before we continue this little chat, Archimedes does need to jump out now, so we'll say our
God damn it, Archimedes.
It's getting late over here again, and I gotta get at least a couple of hours sleep. So
it's about that time for everybody, ain't it? How long is this show, Dutch? Damn it! God damn it!
As long as we walk, God damn it!
As long as we,
at least once I want to make it to the end, Dutch.
as long as we get to see your face, dealer, because we got a world premiere
I'm a
on
skeleton, bitch. You see me?
Yeah.
We got a world premiere on Colt's face.
We got a world, Colt had a world premiere. It's your turn now.
Nah, Colt's been out there for a minute. You see me? I'm a skeleton. I just told you.
I'm a Oh, is that you? Is that you with is this your winter attire?
That's an actual picture of me in the 4th grade. Yeah.
I've got a photo of Dealer on my t-shirt. So.
That was my 7th grade photo.
He looks very surprised.
Yeah. Like, holy shit, games! Wow, we have games
he's
now.
Close to my nipple. That's why.
Nipplegate.
Oh God!
Okay, guys, I'm going to head off. Now, you guys have a good chat, continuing the show. And I see you
thanks,
next week then.
You shall indeed, brother. You shall indeed. Whilst we're still on it, actually, whilst Archimedes is still here, the guests for next week are no other than the group from Gaming Beyond the Box, Wilmy Hood, Husk, and potentially even Forkboy himself, jumping out of dumpsters to join us here. So that should be another good laugh. Should be good fun. Wilmy and Forky and Husk don't hold back, so they're good. Much like Dealer when he's awake, and he's starting to perk up a little bit when he's eating.
Yeah,
So
I need some breakfast, man.
He's had some food. He's got some food now.
Yeah,
it's going good.
Very good.
No,
all right, guys. Then have a good evening.
You as well,
brother.
Archie.
Yes.
Have a good one.
See you, Archimedes. See you, man.
Archimedes.
And then there were 7.
They're slowly dying of old age as the show progresses.
We're all gonna look like the Avatar, for fuck's sake.
Growing beards and dying off by the end of the show.
This is it. This wasn't here at the beginning of the podcast. This is all grown in throughout the term.
It's like a Royal Rumble. Each one of us gets thrown over the ropes
Who's
every
the
hour.
longest? Yeah.
No, it's
By the end, we're just eating carrots and celery, just trying to stay alive as long as we can.
Dear me. But I even noticed John told, even J-Dub, you just told him fuck off or fuck him.
That's nice.
Wow, he finally realized who's the most toxic fuck in the whole community.
Oh man, he really is.
Dude, I didn't block from the minute one.
Yeah, me too. I accepted it for a little while, but then every day it was the same shit, like negative, toxic shit.
These people live for this shit, bro.
Yeah, I know. It's just attention seekers, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh God, yeah, God. It's
But it's good that seeing that John also finally is fed up with those people. So good to see. Happy days.
Oh yeah,
I just don't get it. I've said, I think I said it to Colt before. It's like on the internet, you can be anyone. You can reinvent yourself into anyone, and that's what they choose to reinvent themselves into.
A piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A log floating down the world.
I mean, they're just lucky people like me don't dedicate my life to doing that type of shit because they're not very good at it. They're not even good at what they do 24/7. And there's other people out there that could do that a lot better. So I don't know. It's weird because their favorite game is Twitter, and they're not that great at that. And really, they just want to spread negativity and bullshit. Like, all they do is lie about everything everyone says while not playing any games and not having the trophies to prove it, while also not knowing shit about anything and spreading bullshit. So it's great. And for John to finally realize that's a couple years too late, but good to see.
No.
What do you make of crap then? Because I know crap used to kind of be
Who?
crap. You know who.
Oh,
You know
crap
who.
beer. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't
Crap.
pay attention to any of it. It's wrestling at this point.
No.
No,
Not
yeah,
anymore.
no.
Did you used to know him before he started going off the rails a bit?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do a
what
show.
Yeah,
and I left the
remember,
show because it
Yeah.
wasn't anything that I wanted to do anymore. And there was a point where things were different there. And I think that, I don't know if the change is real or not. I really don't care at this point. I'm at a different spot. So those guys can do what they got to do. And they found the avenue that keeps them going mentally and motivated mentally. That's not how I work. I'm me at all times.
Yep. And that's why we love you, dealer. Don't you worry. But yes, I'm going to wrap up this show for this evening, and thank you very much for what has been another record show again tonight. Thanks to our guests, Flap from Green Pass Gaming, Dealer from RDX, and CJ Grinnell, who wishes he was back on RDX. His twin brother. He's still going to get that double team again, Chris. Me and yourself back on RDX at some point when they eventually open up those
when
doors.
WandrinDutch gets a good microphone.
Yeah.
When WandrinDutch wanders into the Walmart to get a good microphone. No, I mean on that show, Dutch's mic was all fucked up. We were like, "What's happening right now?" But it was fun though. You brought it.
Yeah. Try to bring it. I don't know what was going on with the microphone on that day. Ridiculous. But never mind.
The sound traveled a long way.
I'm giving you shit, brother. It's a good show.
Yeah. But no, thank you everybody for joining along again. Another brilliant podcast and unbelievable panel of guests and chat. It's been absolutely massive. Again, we've had concurrent viewers of over nearly 100, actually 95, 96 viewers at any one point, which for us is massive. And again, 87 likes as well so far on the video. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, do so. I hope you enjoyed the show. We will do our outros now. So first of all, our main guest for this evening, Dealer, if you want to let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up in the next couple of weeks.
You can find me at Dealer Gaming on YouTube, Dealer_Gaming on Twitter, and I'll have plenty of content coming here in the next week or so. And
may or may not.
May or may not.
May or may not have
Ninja
Turtle onesie on right now. And good show, guys. It was good meeting some of you guys, talking to some of you guys, and again, this whole community, everyone that watched, hit the like button, subscribe, show a buddy or two, and put it on reset error so they can get upset at something someone said.
Yeah. No, because I'll have more death threats. So.
Please, not today.
Always a pleasure to podcast with good buddy Chris Grinnell, and again, it's nice podcasting with you again, Dutch, and all the rest of you. Forza Erwin, I've seen you a lot on Twitter. You saw that 12 RDNA 2 came true, huh, boy?
Yeah, for sure, mate.
He was in denial. But seriously though, good show.
Well,
no, you're welcome. Thank you very much for coming along, brother. Second of all, again, Flap from Green Pass Gaming, thank you very much, brother, for coming along. If you want to let people know what you've got coming up, what shows you've got, and where they can find you.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us on, mate. Yeah, it's been a blast. Nice to meet Dealer. Nice to be on with the rest of the panel. Chat's been pretty lively tonight as well, and good to see those big numbers as well, because I've got a similar number of subs, and it is good to see those big numbers coming in and people watching. So I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm Flap. You can find me at Flap2 on Twitter. Got my own channel on YouTube, Green Pass Gaming. You can find us at Green Pass Gaming on Twitter. We do a Sunday podcast. We have various guests and stuff. So, love to see you there.
Happy days. Brilliant. And third and finally, our main guest for this evening, Chris Grinnell, the man that everybody loves to have a go at after here for being former Sony dev that has apparently never been a Sony dev.
The janitor probably.
there was some really weird thing the other day where like two guys were having this conversation. I couldn't help like chipping in, even though Dean was like, "Leave it," like tells me not to. But they were just one guy was like deadly serious. It was like there's some real weird things happened with Chris and the way he's left Sony and stuff. Like I am fucking Cliffy B or Phil Harrison or someone. Do you know what I mean? It's like this big conspiracy of like why I left Sony. And I was like,
they found out you were a changeling.
Yeah, they found out I was working on bug snacks. But it was
that's where bug snacks started. It was Chris's game.
Project.
That was the main thing. That was it, yeah. He was working on bug snacks all along. That's exactly why I left.
No, thanks for having me. Obviously, good to have a chat with the panel, with the guys again. And as always, good to catch up with Dealer. And yeah, if anyone wants to follow me, just look for the Witch Hunt on Twitter. And if you want a game, it's Hard Times UK on PlayStation, Xbox, etc.
Yeah, sweet. He's Chris is very level-headed. People he gets a little death threats because he worked at a company that they love and no longer works there and likes to say things how they are, and it's as simple as that. People don't like hearing things.
And look at the death. Look at where the death threats are coming from. If you're irrational, you're a radical crackhead on Twitter issuing death threats. You know, it's not even worth acknowledging. You know,
Nope.
it's like people that don't believe in science or something. It's like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Why are you in here? You know, just don't even have the conversation with you. It's a waste of time. So Chris does good work, and you just gotta avoid those people, man. Crackheads.
No.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, they're either coming from Canada, which I've noticed.
Canada.
That's where they come from.
You got a Canadian death threat? That's like one of those holographic platinum Pokemon cards or something.
Did they apologize after sending the death threat? Did they
Sorry, mate, but I think you should be.
Well,
Sorry,
I was going to say, just choose a different VPN location, please, so I don't think Canada hates me.
And we shall go to our normal panel. So, Patjeuh, if you can let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up, brother.
All right, yeah. So you can mainly find me on Twitter, like the name says, Patjeuh070. You can find me on Xbox, and also on Twitch, because normally I will stream before the podcast. Today I couldn't, didn't have that much time. But yeah, I mostly stream PUBG, as you guys know. I will also go in the future. I will go to stream some other games as well. So yeah, that's about it, man.
Sweet, no problem. And Erwin.
And wait one sec. I want to do a shout out to Dealer and Flap as well. It was a pleasure to meet you guys. And hearing your opinion about how you think about games and that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, it was really nice to hear. Thank you.
Okay, with you, buddy.
Nice.
Good job.
Thank you. And Erwin, where can people find you? What you up to over the coming days?
Yeah, so people can find me as Forza Erwin on Twitter, also on Xbox, on YouTube, on Twitch. And on PSN they can find me on Remspoor 48 or 84, sorry. Not gonna do the translation again, it's not funny anymore.
He says with a big grin on his face.
But gonna play some GT Sport. I saw there was a challenge to beat Max Verstappen, the F1 driver, so I'm gonna beat him. And I wanna do some online racing also on GT. I want to invest a little bit more time on that part. And I'm going to start God of War, man. Everybody is so positive about the game. I'm really going to start God of War. I started in the past, played it for an hour or two, and I couldn't get into it. Maybe different mindset now also a little bit. So I'm going to get into the game more. Big shout out to everybody who was joining today already prior to the show. Again, multiple people were already in line to see that we're going live because of some fantastic guests like Flap and Dealer and Chris again. Really, fortunate to meet you guys. Dila, I follow you already for years. We interact sometimes on Twitter, so it's nice to talk to each other in real life, mate. So I really had a good evening. I enjoyed a lot, and I hope to see you guys on in the future as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's cool.
Thanks, man.
Last but not least, Shomberlon, if you can let people know where they can find you and what you're up to over the next couple of days.
I have no idea what I'm doing the next couple of days. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Shomberlon and on Xbox and the same thing. You won't find me on PlayStation. Well, I'm there, but you will not be finding me in a party there because they've just updated their policy to record your conversations for moderation. So,
in party chat, which is a bit of a strange one.
So they'll be recording everybody's party chat, which is a little bit weird.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find me there. Hit me up if you want a game or just want to chat. And that's where you can find me.
Sweet. And again, thank you all to all the panel members and the guests today. And again, up to nearly 100 people watching live today, which is another record for us. So thank you very much for that. Again, if you're not already doing so, subscribe and hit that like button, and notification bell for when we go live again. Over the coming days with live streams and our next podcast next week with the guys from Gaming Beyond the Box, Wilmy, Forkboy and Husk. But again, thank you to everybody for coming along. I hope you had a nice night. You can find me on Twitter at WandrinDutch, on Twitch, WandrinDutch, and again, YouTube, WandrinDutch. So thank you very much again for a great night. And we will see you all again next time. Goodbye, people.
All right, man.
See you later.
Cheers, everybody.
All right.
And